want you to explain to your dad here, what is foreign exchange? All right, welcome to the Decoding Cross-Border Ecommerce podcast for kids.
For kids.
And today we have a guest.
My name's Logan.
Logan. All right. And Logan, I think we've had you on this podcast before, and we know you are Aaron's son, right? And how old are you again? Remind me.
9.
9. Okay. And today we are going to see if we can explain. Do you have any new jokes though before we get to this subject of explaining something? You can think about that and we can come back to you. Or do you, Aaron, have a dad joke for your son?
Appropriate ones?
I thought the cannibal one was pretty appropriate.
Why don't cannibals eat clowns?
Because they taste funny.
That's right.
Okay. All right, Aaron, what subject would you like to see if
I got a challenge for you,
explain?
Clint. Like when it comes to Zonos, there's a number of things we do, and Logan nailed it last time when I explained the duty and tax calculations and how to calculate all this stuff. One topic we didn't touch on is another thing that we help with, which is currency and currency exchange rates. Can you explain FX, and not necessarily how you monetize, but just how that works, currency exchange, and why that's important here and what we do?
Am I explaining this to Logan?
Uh-huh.
Okay, Logan, you ready for this? I thought you were going to be the one explaining it.
No,
I
I turned it on you.
Okay.
This is you're much more of an expert at this than me.
All right, Logan, have you ever traveled to a different country?
Yes.
Where'd you go?
Belize and Costa Rica.
Wow.
And we spend a day.
Panama.
There you go.
That's right. I've heard about that trip. Did you buy anything there? Did you have any? Were you able to go to a store and buy anything?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What kind of money did you use?
Different money.
Really? Different money. Okay. That's the currency. That's called currency. Their money, right? That's their currency. What's it called? The currency down there in Belize?
What's Belize dollar?
Belize dollar.
Yeah.
Okay. And then in the US, you have a US dollar, right? Well, depending on a lot of things, which I won't get into, the value of each one, if $1 US is $1 US worth $1 Belize dollar, do you remember?
Yes.
Actually, I don't think they are. So they're actually very, very different, right? So they usually a dollar is probably stronger than a Belize dollar, right? Which means that there's a difference. It's not, you can't just trade one. You could trade $1 US for $1 Belize dollar. And you know how many people would trade you there in Belize for that?
Okay.
Everyone, because they would all want your dollar's worth more money.
Wow.
Yeah, it's worth, even though it's same just one.
Belize is a 2-to-1, by the way.
Oh, it's 2-to-1. Okay. So you would need 2 Belize dollars to be worth just $1 US. That's foreign exchange. That's the exchange. That's the exchange difference, is that there's some countries in Brazil, I think it's like almost 5-to-1. Like 5 Brazilian reais to get $1 US.
Dang.
Yes. Yep. So I want you to explain to your dad here, what is foreign exchange? Currency exchange. What is it?
It's. I just forgot.
That's okay. All right. So one more time. Currency exchange is trading two different currencies that have different values for each currency. They're worth different amounts.
Oh.
So, Logan, what is currency exchange?
It's trading.
You can give the example if you want with US dollars and Belize dollars.
So, $1 US is worth $2 Belize dollars, and and then
It's calculating that what those are. That's you basically nailed it.
So we just came, your mom and I just came home from Australia and New Zealand, right? And we brought home some money for you guys to see. So is $1 US worth 2 Australian and 2 New Zealand dollars too? Nope. Every currency is worth a different amount. So if we talk about in the context of Zonos and what we do, we talked before about how Zonos helps calculate the taxes and stuff and how much it's going to cost someone to buy something from another country, right? But each of those shoppers are in a country like New Zealand or Australia or Belize or France or wherever it may be, and they all have their own currency. And if they're shopping from your Logan's, what are you going to sell on your website?
video games.
Logan's video games. They're going to buy video games from you, okay? And your website is all in US dollars. They have to know how much it's going to be in their currency, right? So wouldn't it be easier if you just told them how much it would be in their currency instead of telling them US dollars?
Mm-hmm.
But to do that, you have to know how to convert a dollar into their currency, right? And every currency is different. So then we can show the person in Belize how much it is in Belize dollars. Or we can, for your $1 video game, it's $2 there. It might be $1.30 something and for the Australian, for the New Zealand. And so that's what Zonos does too, is we help present it in their currency so it feels like they're shopping from home. Make sense? And we do that for you, Logan, because you wouldn't want to do that on your own for your video game site, would you?
No.
Yeah.
Well, another successful episode of Decoding Cross-Border Ecommerce for Kids. Thank you, Logan, for being on our podcast today. This was invigorating. This was great.
Thanks, Logan.
Bye.
See ya.
Welcome to another episode of the Decoding Cross-Border Ecommerce podcast for kids. And today we have a special guest, a repeat guest, Kinley.
So good the first time, we had to get her back in the studio.
Welcome, Kinley.
Hi.
Hi. Okay. All right. You say hi so we get the camera on you. So me and your dad were talking about some ideas of things we want to talk about. But before we do, I'm just wondering, do you have a joke for us today?
I have a riddle.
Ooh, I like riddles. Let's do it.
I'll take it.
You already know this.
Okay, I won't. It's just for Clint.
Oh, no.
I have two though.
No, just one.
Oh, fine. What starts with an E, ends with an E, and only has one letter in it.
He's heard this one too, and he better get it.
What starts with an E, ends with an E, and only has one letter in it. I don't know. Kinley, tell me, because I'm going to be embarrassed if you don't.
Envelope.
Oh. What's funny is I actually I thought this is like a letter one, and I'm like, it's not letter. Envelope.
Yep.
Okay, you got me. All right, you got me. Don't bring me on a into your trivia team or something like that.
Yeah, she does have another one if you want a second chance.
I do. Do you have another?
Go.
Okay, it's kind of like that. Okay, it starts with a P, ends with an E, and has 1,000,000 letters in it.
What starts with a P, ends with an
E,
and has 1,000,000 letters in it.
What is it?
What is it?
Post office.
That one I should have known. That one I'm even more embarrassed about that I didn't get. That was great. Does your dad does he give you these riddles all day long? Is that where you learn these things?
Yeah, him.
Yeah, I can imagine. Well, I'm going to challenge your dad today to explain to you what denied party screening is. Do you know what denied party screening is?
No.
All right. Well, let's. We're going to ask you that question in a few minutes to see if you know what it is.
All right. I've got to explain it so that way you can explain it to Clint. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So we've kind of had some of these where we've tried to teach about what Zonos does. The whole goal is to make it really easy for Kinley to sell something to someone else off her website in another country. What does your website sell, by the way? Does it sell kiwis?
It sells jokes.
Sells jokes.
Like,
I like it.
Joke stuff.
I love it. That's
Joke
fitting.
books,
That's
joke
fitting.
shirts.
Joke. Yeah, that's fantastic. Okay. Now, we've had some other episodes where we have to teach about duty and taxes and other things that are complex that you'd have to figure out. But now this one is, what if there's bad people out there that shouldn't have your joke stuff? That you can't sell your joke stuff to terrorists or they might use it in a really, really bad way. So you as a seller have to make sure you don't sell to those bad guys. How are you going to do it? How do you know if it's a bad guy you're not supposed to sell to?
Mm.
So do you think maybe you'd want to buy some software to help you? That every order that came through, that software would say, hey, this might be a bad guy, or nope, we're good to go. Do you think that would be helpful? Would that make your job easier?
Yep.
So that's denied party screening, is screening everybody that's trying to buy from you and then making sure you don't sell to the ones that are bad. Because, and the way you know they're bad and the way the software know they're bad is the governments, like in the US and in other countries, they might put the bad guys on a list. So like if they're terrorists or other things, they might say, hey, these are bad guys we don't want you selling to. And then the software will look to see if they can match a bad guy for you that you're selling to from one of those lists. And if there's looks like there might be a match, then it'll tell you, hey, Kinley, be careful, don't sell to this guy.
Okay.
Sound good? Does that make sense? All right. Teach Clint.
So Kinley, I would like to know what denied party screening is.
Okay. Denied party screening is where it's like, if there's bad people who want to buy your stuff, but you can't sell it to them because they're going to use it badly, then it's like you want like a company like or something to go through and like go through the orders and like look at them and make sure that they're not like buying bad stuff, so they can tell you if it's like a bad person or like it's fine.
Are you looking for a job when you're done selling your jokes? Because I think you could come work for us and sell denied party screening. That was really good.
Good job.
Yeah, that was great. Well, Kinley, we can't wait to have you back, another day maybe, to talk more about challenging Aaron and I to explain an industry that seems so boring, but was really exciting. Was this fun?
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks again. And that's a wrap for another Decoding Cross-Border Ecommerce podcast for kids.
Thanks, Kinley.